All right. Let's talk about eyes. You will need white. You will need a black. And the blacks are in these really big containers, just so you know. And you'll need a color for the iris. I chose this green color for my iris. You will also need a really, really tiny brush. Okay, so I have the Lazy Susan out that has all the different brush sizes, so you can take your own. My suggestion to you, if you're ready for the eyes, is not to pour any of the white out. Actually, just go in with your brush and get some out of the back of the cap. And you're going to go ahead and paint the white of the eye as carefully as possible on both eyes. I have very, very squinty eyes, so I don't really have that much painting going on. There's one. He's going to look like a zombie leaf in a second. If you mess it up and you need to retouch some of the color, you can do that. Try not to go back and forth too many times because it will drive you insane. And there's the other one. Pretty good? All right. You're going to need to clean the white off of the brush. Just do this on the side of the paper, roll it, and it will clean it off. Then you're ready for the color part, which is the green for me. That's the iris. But I have a trick for you. The trick is to make sure that the iris is a perfectly round circle. You're going to choose one of the white-handled brushes because the ends are rounded. You're going to take the end and dip it in the color. I don't want it to be globby. And then you're going to, oops, there's my head. I'm just blowing on the eyes so that they dry, because you need them dry to do this. 1 second. This is going to be a terrible video. All right. You're going to actually just dot the eye with the color. That didn't work exactly how I wanted it to go because my eyes are so squinty. I knew that was going to be a problem. So I'm going to go through with the tip of my brush and try to fix the color a little bit. There we go. There we go. Now, you see my iris is bleeding out onto the eyelid, right? I will fix that with a little bit of red in the end. I'll just touch that part up. I'm going to do the same thing for the other iris, trying to make them look like they match. They're in the same location on the eye. Boy, this green is really gross. And I did the same thing. I made that same mistake. That's okay. See, even I make mistakes. I got it on the eyelid. That's okay. I'll fix it. Alright, so there's my iris. And now I have one more thing left for my eye. What is that? Do you know? The pupil. The pupil is the black area. Now I have to make sure that that's dry before I try to put a pupil in there. So while that's drying for a second, I'm going to go and look for the red paint real quick. And touch up that eyelid on both sides. Okay, that's good. Oh, I just got red on that eye. See what happens when you rush through things? You mess it up. Alright. That dot doesn't really matter because I'm going to cover it with black in a second for the pupil. Alright, so same thing goes for the pupil. You can use the back side of the paintbrush, but I'm not going to because I know my eyes are so tiny and squinty that I just need the smallest little dot of black inside my iris. Doink. Oh, that looks good. And if you say doink, it helps too. Oh, I messed it up again. I'm rushing it, that's why. Oh, and I didn't say doink. That's why I messed it up. All right, so there's my two irises. I'm going to wait for that little black on the eyelid to dry completely before I try to touch it up. Now, my very last step is to put a reflection spot in the eye. Right there. Right there. Now he looks alive. Oh, he's alive. And if you have teeth at this point, you can go ahead and fill those teeth in. I have a couple teeth in there. So I'm just going to go in with my tiny little brush. Pick up a little bit of those teeth. There we go. There we go. Now we got some teeth going on in there. The last thing that you might want to do for touch-ups actually has to happen before the eyes are done, but I already did it, so that's why I'm not showing it to you. I took a dark color, this dark red, and I went through and I just barely brushed my eyebrows, the eyelids, the nose, and the mouth with the dark red. It really made the eyes and the facial features pop out. That's because my face is a light color, that light greenish yellow color. If you have a dark face, then you should use a lighter color and barely dry brush it on the eyebrows, eyes, nose, and mouth. And don't pick an extremely, like if your face is this dark, don't pick white to do it because that was like too much of an extreme. Just pick a lighter shade of orange, and that will help make your face pop out a little bit more. And you can also do it if you want on the edges, like I did the dark red on the tips of my leaf, and that really helped the tips pop as well. So that is your demo for your eyes and finishing touches.